Hello, welcome back to the Stream community. Today I wanted to talk a little more about how dreams can inspire action in waking life. And I have 2 nights worth of dreams to share, and then some ideas, some thinking prompts for how we can kind of brainstorm some ideas and see what resonates. So just to get into it, I am just going to do a very brief breathing and tune. The words in Hebrew are Hamakom Hazeh, which means this place. So basically, this sacred place, which can also mean God, just a sacred place such as we might um, visit or be closer to in that dream space, um, or that we might um, meditate and feel uh, spiritually closer to when we do take this breath and discuss more spiritual things. So I invite you to close your eyes and take a nice, deep, cleansing breath. Hamakom hazeh, hamakom hazeh, hamakom hazeh, hamakom hazeh. And if you keep your eyes closed, just stay in a meditative state, and we'll walk through the first night of dreams. My 9-year-old daughter and I are getting on a school bus. I get onto the bus normally, but as I stand there at the top of the aisle, I look towards the back of the bus and see her trying to climb in one of the windows on the right side from my perspective. I try multiple times to discourage her from getting in this way, but every time I think she is listening and I take my attention off of her, she goes right back to climbing in the window. This happens until she finally succeeds in coming in through the window. I look at the bus driver with an expression that says, "I'm so sorry, she's so stubborn and she does things her own way all the time." Change of dream. My 13-year-old daughter and I are walking down a snowy highway at night. It is feeling like we're walking because we don't have a ride. The more we walk, the more I realize how much farther we have to go. As we walk and talk, we realize that vehicles are shifting over to give us room. As we go on, I start to feel a bit nervous about the fact that it is so dark and there are random strangers driving past. I wonder aloud to her whether it's better to continue walking on the road or maybe to walk in the woods parallel to the road so that strangers cannot see us, so that we can feel safely out of sight. She says she doesn't know. We eventually come to a place where someone has broken down in their car, and a group of mechanics are there to help. Just after that spot is a gas station, so we go inside. At least we can have a bathroom break and a warm up, maybe get some gas for our car, which somehow we are now traveling with a car. And this feels like a very easy strategic stop along the way, like it has been perfectly placed there and will take us hardly any time before we're back on the road again. A nice woman asks if we would like some strawberry bread. I head for the bathroom, and when I have used the toilet, a cute little Indian boy, as in from India, is in white clothing and comes in playfully, tugs at my elbow to pull me towards the area where all his family is milling around, and he asks me to read him a story. I find this so adorable and fun. I smile and giggle and go along with him. Change of dream again. Now somebody's bed alarm is going off, and this makes me realize I must be in a nursing home. I make my way to the room with the alarm, and I find this woman I used to care for in waking life in a nursing home, fast asleep on her side in her comfortably dark room. Her bed alarm has slipped down somehow so that her weight is no longer on it. I try to shift it without waking her, but she wakes up anyways. She tries to tell me what she needs, and I don't understand at first. I briefly examine her to see if I can observe any issues. Her bottom is bare, so I check her for any incontinence, but she's perfectly clean. She tells me that the problem is that she needs covers, so I pull up the sheet, spread it over her so she will be comfortable for going back to sleep. She's much more pleasant in this dream than I remember her being in waking life at the nursing home. Now, the next night full of dreams, I am now in the hospital as a living donor, but it is for a portion of my lower back, which, for context, in waking life, I do have lower back problems from working in the nursing home. Apparently, in this dream, it is actually possible to remove a section of the spine and still have everything continue to function normally. I am feeling satisfied that I was able to do this for someone. Then suddenly, I realize I'm shorter now. That's disappointing. I enjoyed being my exact height. I feel let down. I am able to see what was removed from my body. It's interesting looking, red and like a piece of meat, but it's a section of spine with a huge pomelo-sized mass attached. This is a surprise to all of us. It turns out to be a good thing I underwent the surgery, or we may not have caught this problem. I am sure further testing will be needed to determine if this tumor is cancerous. So now I'm wandering around the hospital, not feeling my best, but feeling sure I should keep my circulation going. I know all about post-surgical blood clots. I keep accidentally wandering into spaces that I don't think I'm supposed to be, such as behind the desks at the nurses' stations. I'm also supposed to stay away from areas where babies are staying so that there will be less chance of spreading germs. I keep accidentally finding myself in places where I'm not even trying to be. For example, I find myself near the baby's rooms and I hurry away, only to find that I'm now behind the desk area at the nurse's station. So stressful. I finally find a more public and neutral place to sit, which is good because I'm feeling a bit hot and run down. I'm concerned about post-operative infection now. Do I have a fever? I really don't want to have to deal with that. Now it turns out that my rabbi in waking life is my doctor in the dream, and he comes to tell me it's time to go for imaging tests to check for the potential cancer. A couple of nurses come to escort me, but I'm worried. In waking life and in the dream, I'm terrified of any sort of medication or dyes that may need to be used. The nurses look at each other but don't tell me anything. I think they're hiding the fact that they will be using contrast. They seem to be hoping they can get me there first and worry about the dye later. I look to my doctor, Rabbi, and explain to him that I have a phobia and I will have a panic attack, no question. I try to explain to him just how severe it will be. I've had this happen before. I completely dissociate, lose control of what I'm doing. It is bad. There has to be an alternative. He doesn't seem concerned. Nobody ever completely understands, which is a reflection of waking life as well. So that is the end of both nights of dreams. So there's a lot going on here, and feel so free, please, to jump in and comment down below what kind of themes you pick up, what kind of um, inspirations for waking life, um, what themes would you find, and what insights would you get if you had this dream, which you kind of just did because we just walked through them together. So I am going to pull up some notes that I got, uh, got a little help. The first thing I came up with on my own was the walking themes. Both nights involved dreams of walking and purposeful walking, just like I am purposely out here walking for some reason, whether it's I have to get home or I have to keep my circulation going. I just had surgery. Um, and things like this in a dream can remind you of something you wanted to do in real life. So one thing I think about sometimes is that I do want to keep moving more. I do have a breathing issue in real life, which might kind of help if I could get a little more used to being active, and just going on some gentle walks might be helpful for getting used to that. Um, so after 2 nights in a row of dreaming of these purposeful walks, I thought, you know what? I think it's time to go out. So I took my kids out to the park twice that week and walked around the track. Um, took it easy, didn't push myself too hard, but just to kind of get back into it. So sometimes things in your dream can be so literal, but just kind of give you that nudge that you needed. Oh, hey, that would be a good idea. Or anything else in a dream. You can even take some non-literal things. So a note I got from someone else was, uh, let's see, about the alarms. Um, check your own alarms, any kind of routines you might have that are slipping, anything you're maybe losing a little control over your routines or your goals, um, emotional signals that you tend to override. So kind of reevaluate what's going on in your life right now. Was this note, and make sure you notice when you're kind of slipping. Um, and of course, there's the physical, literal aspect, the somatic aspect of it. Um, what you're feeling hot, you're feeling cold, um, just somatic cues for what you might be feeling and making sure you're taking those cues in waking life. Um, Obviously, there are also a couple of things that were a reflection of waking life, just kind of putting a spotlight on something that is already there. My 9-year-old daughter, for example, she always does things her own way. She's very stubborn about it. Um, she's not going to do things in a conventional way, and I find it so amusing and hilarious and uh, just like, oh my gosh, please keep being unique. um, she goes to a school where she's still young enough that the teachers are a little bit hovering, a little overbearing, and every day she comes home and I say, "What did you get in trouble for at lunch today?" And it's just because she's being herself. She's not doing anything particularly wrong. I just find it hilarious because, oh, I got in trouble because I disassembled my sandwich and ate it piece by piece, or I um I dipped this one food item into the other food item and ate it that way. Um, why would you get in trouble for that? Oh, it's just not meant to be eaten that way. Well, she didn't waste it. She ate it that way. So who cares? Um, but she has so many more examples. She just, in everything in life, she does things her own way. And it's hilarious. Um, the medical side of things, obviously, that was a fear showing up. Um, so obviously, we can see that dreams are a mixture of things you think about in waking life and things that your brain wants to kind of remind you of, and little inspirations, little messages. Um, I feel like there was another thing in my notes here. Let me see. Yes. One comment that I got was it's okay to take creative solutions. You don't always have to do things a conventional way. Um, and that could have come from, my dream about my younger daughter. Um, let's see. And another comment I got was uh, vigilance. Um, how not only with these dreams, but with previous dreams I've had and different situations in my waking life, being really vigilant and trying to notice all the things and keep everything. Um, I'm still looking for it, sorry. Trying to be the one who takes care of everything, have protective vigilance, carrying the burden of smoothing social edges of other people's behavior, carrying other burdens, making sure everyone's fine, just kind of um, perhaps think about your own desire for reciprocity or making sure that you don't sacrifice your own needs while you're busy caring for everyone else. Um, so I think that's basically all the notes I've got. So I'm curious to know if you got anything else out of that, um, that we can kind of resonate with. Is anything that resonates with you, um, so that we can collectively kind of see, if you put it out there, it could resonate with others as well and be an inspiring message or a reminder or a little nudge. Oh, that's a good idea. Oh, yeah, I never thought of it that way. So the more people that kind of walk through these dreams, it's very interesting to see all the different perspectives that are given on it. And you might think, oh, well, this only applies to me. What does it matter? But it doesn't. You'll find so many people that say, oh, I totally get that. So um, definitely don't feel shy. Comment or send in some of your own dreams, and we'll go through those too, and we'll see you on the next one.